This is the oldest car we've ever found abandoned. We found this 90-year-old car sitting away in a bedroom of a house. That's right, a bedroom. It was meant to be an addition to the house that was supposed to be a bedroom, but apparently became the sleeping place of a 90-year-old car. And after not being washed for only 20 years, it had some of the craziest white walls we've ever seen. But not only that, we found even more surprises when we opened up the trunk. And by the end of the detail, we found so many cool things. You have to watch this whole video.
So the first car was in the kitchen and this one is in a bedroom?
Yep, in a bedroom.
After you, I'll let you lead the way.
Right.
So we got a car in the living room, a car in the kitchen, but today I think we're gonna focus on the one in the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
All right, let's go check it out.
Okay.
Look at this thing.
Oh, this beast.
Holy smokes. This is what, a Chrysler?
It is a 1935 Chrysler.
Do you know the model?
I believe it's an Airstream.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
This is the oldest car that we've ever found. I mean, look at the white walls. The white walls are like 2.5 inches thick and they're bright yellow now. At one point they were white walls, now they're yellow walls. So what's the story on this car, Denise? Your father's again, I presume?
Yes, this is my dad's car. I don't know a lot about it. He got it after I was grown and gone from the house.
I love the reverse mounted wiper blades. I've never seen them mounted at the
different.
top there. That means that there's an electrical line that's run here and the motors are up in the roof?
I'm not sure if they run that way or if they're vacuum run.
Oh,
Again, I'm
okay.
sure the viewers would probably know more. My dad could answer that one real quick for you. But I think they're vacuum run. And then this here too is an air vent. You pull it in and it opens up and it lets air come inside the...
Because I guess it didn't have air conditioning
No air
back
conditioning.
So Denise, do you have any idea how long this thing's been sitting here?
If I had to guess, I'd say at least 15 years.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
And then when's the last time you guys were actually driving it?
It would have been around that time that Dad would have driven it up in here,
Yeah.
and that was it for him.
Crazy to think this thing's about to be 90 years old.
Oh, it looks like we got a sticker here from 2006, which is from Massachusetts. This car was a...
Yeah, that's where Dad got it from.
Oh,
was
wow.
Massachusetts.
Gotcha. I guess we should figure out if these tires are gonna hold air and get into the trailer before that rain comes.
Mike, do you think these are gonna hold air?
You know, surprisingly, a lot of these really old tires are made a lot better than the new tires. We never see like cracking and stuff on them. We've had better luck with really old stuff than new stuff. Like the only cars we've had big trouble was like the Supra. Couldn't get it to hold air to save our lives.
So I'm gonna guess that you think it will.
Oh, 100%.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah. That's crazy. It just takes air like it's nothing.
100%. I'm surprised that the steel wheel doesn't lay on the metal and start cutting into the rubber, but like I said, with these old tires, it doesn't seem to do that. It's only like new stuff where it does. I think the rubber compounds are totally different.
And now it's time to winch this car out of this bedroom into our trailer. And I want to say thank you guys so much for the recent support you've been giving us. And I guess this is a good time to ask the question of the video, so leave your answers in the comments below. What is your favorite decade of cars? I think personally for me, there's a lot of cool stuff that came out in the 80s, but also the 2010s, but I'm a lot younger, so that's what I like personally, but what do you guys love?
The Chrysler has to come back in this garage. So we're gonna clean it up for them, and then we're gonna bring a car cover so that after it's cleaned, whenever they're ready to put it in a nicer garage, they'll have the opportunity to with a clean car, or if they leave it here, at least it won't be nearly as dirty as when we found it.
All right, we have the 1935 Chrysler back in our shop, but RJ has a surprise for us, so we're waiting on him. He really wants to get our reaction on camera. I'm not sure what's going on.
Do you think maybe he found Frank? Because, okay, so last week we were showing everyone Frank, and Mike, I think we should update them.
So here's the update on Frank. On Friday, we fed Frank, we left for the weekend, and then Monday, Frank is missing. So we've looked all around the building, we've looked everywhere, no Frank. So I'm kind of worried that something got him, sadly. You know, it's kind of weird because you never think that you care about a seagull a little bit, but we had Frank around for a little while. He always came up to us and was always really friendly with us, so it's a little sad to see him go, but if he comes back, we'll let you know. I hope he does.
Everyone leave a comment what you think Frank's out there doing right now, because I know he's out there.
I have no idea what RJ is planned. Can I look?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's turn around.
Yeah, see? I figured if we're gonna work on the oldest car we ever found, I might as well look the part.
Are you kidding me?
What do you think? You like it? I might have found it all at Goodwill this morning. That's why the pants are a little bit of a flood. What do you think?
I like it actually a lot.
Yeah? You think I fit the...
You gotta talk the whole video like that though.
Ah, like this the whole time?
Yeah.
Ah, Sonny. You know, I could never afford a car like this back in the 1930s. Well, before we get started talking about the car, I figured I wouldn't leave my friend out. I got a nice hat for you too. Let me make sure the Goodwill tag's off.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take a sucker.
I'll take a sucker.
One of my favorite things about cars from this era is they have the suicide doors, as well as full-blown couches on the inside. I gotta say, I feel at home on the inside as well, except there's no brakes, so we're gonna have to be careful when I take it for a drive later. My voice goes in and out of like Massachusetts, like really hard to maintain this. Anyways, I really do like this car. It does embody that time period. Obviously the huge rolling fenders that come all the way into the side step here, or the rocker panel, or whatever you would consider that. And as it flows into the back end here, cars were just, the styling back then was way, way more intricate. Each car just had so much personality. It's something that I wish some more modern cars today had. I mean, outside of sports cars, you know, all sedans tend to look the same. All SUVs literally look the same. And so during this time period, there was a lot of craftsmanship that went into these cars. And that's why I do appreciate them. I'm real excited to hopefully try out these horns. I hope it goes, ow, arg. All right, I gotta take this off. I am so hot right now. Holy crap. Something that's actually kind of interesting is during this time, automotive detailers actually dressed like this. They wore like suits and ties while they worked on cars. At the time, well, a lot of people took more pride in, I should say, the way they dressed and the way they presented themselves. So even in an industry like detailing, where you see us wearing t-shirts and shorts and boots and whatnot, back then people would literally wear like a suit and tie and wash your car for you. So maybe I should do that today. Maybe I should wear this all day today, which is gonna go a little sweaty, but I'm not gonna lie, I might have missed my era.
So the funny thing about this car is almost 90 years old, but it has all the recipe of the car. It has headlights, four wheels, four doors, engine in the front, rear wheel drive. It has everything that's the recipe of a car today. Sure, it doesn't have CarPlay, but the recipe hasn't changed that much if you really think about it. It's got a trunk, it's got a fuel tank, everything's not that different as it used to be. Sure, electric cars exist now, but this thing's pretty sweet for what it is. Even though this is a Chrysler and it's supposed to be, you know, super high production and not so fancy of a car, it does have a lot of style and cues that you'd expect on a much fancier car like a Mercedes or even a Rolls-Royce of the time. If this was rolling down the road, you wouldn't know what it was, and I wouldn't certainly know what it was, but it does look special. Another thing that I noticed about cars that we've been working on, especially ones like pre-60s, I'm not sure what the metallurgy was like. They have way less rust and they live longer. Like there's so many cars in the 80s and the 70s and 60s that we've worked on that are just completely roasted, destroyed with rust, corrosion, all the other. And a lot of these really old cars hold up extremely well. So I'm not sure what they did, how they did it, but these cars last a long time as long as you take care of them.
With all that being said, we're going to start detailing the car, beginning with something I'm sure a lot of you are curious how they're going to turn out, and that's these white walls and wheels. And what we're going to do is spray a degreaser on them to try to start loosening up some of that aged dirt. And we're going to clean the white walls in steps, so we're going to get the first layer off, and then we're going to come back with an SOS pad, which it seems that SOS pads are the best way to clean white walls that we have found. But if you guys have any recommendations that you've tried yourself and they get white walls looking brand new, leave a comment below. We're always looking for new and better ways to do our detailing. Now, while we vacuum off all the loose debris from the car, I think you guys should hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the WD family because we have some crazy stuff coming up really soon.
All right, really quickly while we're back here, we just rinsed off the back of the Chrysler. I want to see if there's anything cool in the trunk. Woo. Oh, that's not cool. Okay, well, this is not what I wanted or expected.
That's disgusting.
Well, I'm gonna close that, and we'll get to that in a minute. All right, Eustace.
What, from Courage the Cowardly Dog?
You look just like him.
Eustace Bags!
Tell me a little bit about this car.
He does wear this hat, doesn't he? Brian, can you put him on the screen somewhere? That was a weird show, by the way. But back to the car at hand. We have a Flathead 6. I think it was nicknamed a Flathead because the head is flat.
216 cubic inches, that's about 3.5 liters, and had, I think, 90 horsepower, which is a ton for back in the day.
Pretty beefy for 1935. I think we've done cars in the 50s that have about this amount of horsepower.
Even less.
Yeah. Back in the day, these engines were super simple. As you can see, we literally have the tiniest airbox, a single barrel carburetor, and the engine right on top. But the design was one that was successful because I believe they used this inline 6 model. Obviously, they made the cylinders bigger and gave it more power as the years went on. I believe they used this all the way up until like almost 1960.
Oh, wow.
But enough chatting about the engine. Let's go ahead and cover up the airbox and give it a good clean.
Now after rinsing off the car and cleaning the engine, we're going to rinse off the underbody too, because you can only imagine how much dirt and dust is gathered underneath there, along with whatever any animals have brought up under there. We always see acorns and stuff falling from the undercarriage of cars, so we're going to give it a thorough cleaning. Now what we're going to do is prep the paint for polishing later by using an iron remover to remove any iron that's rusted into the paint, and our clay mitts to also remove any microcontaminants. That way the pads don't get as clogged up while we're polishing. And also you'll notice when we go to talk about the interior of the car next, we actually filmed that at the beginning of the video before we actually washed the car. So when you notice that it's out of order, that's the only reason why. We just wanted to film all of it at one time, but we broke it up for the video's purpose.
Moving on to the interior, and just like I mentioned on the exterior, this has a lot of the features you'd expect a modern car to have. You know, it has sun visors, a rear view mirror, steering wheel, even have a glove box. We'll see what's in there later. Hold on, need some gusto for this. Alrighty.
Seems like everything on this car, you have to close it really hard.
It was quality made, and you had to slam it, that's for sure.
Here's the real question, Mike. I noticed right in the middle of the dash, there's a knob. You think that's for the windshield wipers?
This one?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's not moving. This is one of the most important features on older vehicles, and we see it all the time. Cigarette lighter.
I have no idea.
Actually, that's what that is. That flap has to be controlled by this.
This one?
Yeah. Oh my God, nope.
What?
This opens the windshield.
No, it doesn't. Can you do it? Dude.
So this is a feature that you won't see on modern day cars besides really like Jeeps or something. But you could lift the windshield up to get some serious airflow in here.
That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never seen this on a car. I didn't expect that to happen. But that is really, really cool. And to see that it actually still works really smoothly. I think it only goes up just a wee bit to let some air in. But wow, that's a really cool feature that I've never seen before.
But there still has to be a way to lift that up. Wait, ready?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. So that lets airflow. So, okay, so this is basically, you know how you have the register change in your car? So you have one for, blowing at your face, and then you have one that's blowing towards your legs.
Yep.
That's the one for your legs, and that's the one for your face.
Like I
that's
said,
so cool.
So now that we went over the interior, we're gonna start working on it and cleaning it out, beginning with the trunk, because I'm not gonna lie, it just smells really bad. And we don't wanna work inside the car while this stench is coming through the back of the seat. But after that, we're gonna pull out the seats and clean up the carpets on the inside. Can't forget the spare tire, which I have to admit, this might be one of the grossest ones that I've ever seen.
Look at the berries down here.
berries?
Berries down here.
Berries and
yeah.
cream?
What the heck is this thing, Mike? Oh, it's the jack. This is where the jack and the battery is. That's interesting. Little 6-volt battery, and then you even have your handy dandy wrench. That's got its own little fitting in there. Look at this thing, back in the day. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that thing's nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Bang. This came out real easy. Wait, what's on the bottom of this?
Pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
Holy smokes.
While we're vacuuming, I want to ask you guys, what's your favorite part of the detailing process to watch? And if you detail cars yourself, what's your favorite part to do? Leave a comment. Now for the seats, we originally thought that we had to be super careful with them, which we still will be because they're very old, but the material held up very, very well, so we're able to still use a drill brush just in the lowest setting with the absolute softest brush with no pressure on it, and that's gonna really help us work our fabric soap into the seat to get all of that staining out. I'm gonna do the exact same thing for the carpets and mats, except you're gonna see me use the extractor head to spray some extra water on the carpet to get it a little bit wetter, and that's just to protect the carpet fibers from any friction.
All right, as you can see, these door cards are in incredible shape for their age, but due to their age and the material that they used back then, these are very brittle. So we don't want to be using any aggressive cleaning on these doors, no scrubbing, no extractor, nothing like that. If there was some heavy staining, we would probably do a little bit, but they're in such good shape that we're just going to do spot cleaning. So any spots, like little stuff like this, we'll just be using a little bit of cleaning solution and light rubbing. We want to just try to keep it as original as possible. And even without the extractor, this light material cleans up pretty well. Luckily, it wasn't soiled by all the mice and other stuff that were crawling on throughout the rest of the interior, but I think these look pretty darn good. For the dashboard, this is something Jason Kilmer taught us. For any of these older vehicles that have hardwood in them, the best and easiest way to clean them up is with lemon pledge. So just put a little bit on our microfiber and lightly rub away. Lemon pledge will protect this wood and give it a nice shine.
And it smells good.
Yeah, it smells one of the best smelling products that we use, I'd have to say. My mom also used lemon pledge, and whenever she would clean and dust the house when I was a kid, I did always really like the smell of our living room because we had wood furniture that she always used this stuff on. This lower portion, I believe, is actually made out of steel, so we're gonna just use a light all-purpose cleaner to clean this area up a little bit. With these older cars, without being too aggressive, you can still get pretty good results because they are made out of some pretty nice stuff.
To finish up the interior, we're going to clean all the windows, and then we're going to move on to polishing the paint.
All right, so the first inspection of the paint is that we have a lot of oxidation and quite a lot of scratches, as well as some chemical etching from some bird dew. So I'm gonna use, this is awful, dude, people are gonna hate this. So I'm gonna use my dual action polisher with a foam pad and a light polish and see if we can't make this paint shine.
And to finish up the exterior, we're gonna polish up all the chrome, which boy, there was a lot of it. Dress the tires, but not put any dressing on the white walls because it just doesn't look good when you do that. Put a ceramic sealant on the paint to give it some protection, and then take the car back to Denise and get her reaction.
so she can't see what's going on here.
I can't.
We're gonna come up a couple more feet. Keep going, keep going. Right about here. Stop.
Okay.
Keep it covered, keep it covered.
Okay.
Go ahead and look.
Oh my gosh!
I thought I'd dress for the occasion, you know?
Look at you!
What do you think?
Dapper Dan!
Yeah. Goodwill did me nice, huh?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Boy,
So
oh
I
boy.
detailed the whole car wearing this.
Wow.
I thought it fit.
Oh, it sure
I thought
does.
it was period correct.
Very much so.
I might look good, but I think the car looks even better.
Oh my goodness.
It came out really, really well.
It's beautiful.
It really is a beautiful car. This era was just fantastic. Their craftsmanship was some of the best ever, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen this car. This is my first time actually seeing it. And I know my dad just loved this era of vehicles, and you can see why. It's so pretty.
It's a showstopper.
It is.
The big rolling fenders into the side steps that, you know, roll into the back. You just tell that somebody put a lot of time and effort in the silhouette and the curb appeal. Yeah, and they don't make them like they used to.
They
At least
sure
not
don't.
like this.
No.
Yeah, I'll show you the interior.
Okay.
So we did find, we do have the car cover in there. So
Okay, thank
once
you.
we're done doing the reveal, we'll put it back in the trailer so we can get it up to the garage over there. We did try and to get it started, but something was up with the carburetor, so
Okay.
didn't have the time to actually replace the carburetor. But she's ready to run sooner than later. The seats are in great condition. All the carpets on the door cards here. We didn't want to do too much, you know, because we usually drill brush and use an extractor. So we did a lot of microfiber spot touch-ups, just because you know, you're never going to find this material again, or somebody who knows how to, you know, make it look like this again. So we try to keep preservation in mind.
It's my dad and his love of cars that just, it shows.
Yeah.
And you guys taking the time to do what we would have never been able to do. We were just talking about that today, that we don't have the resources, and they've just been sitting. So this is going to give them new life, and thank you so much for that.
We were so happy to do it. We had such a good time messing around, especially with me dressed like
Top
this.
to bottom.
It's funny because I bought these pants and I didn't realize they were floods until I got to the shop, and I go, I got to get white socks so I can, you know, so I'm not just showing ankle. But I thought it actually ended up playing in my favor.
Look at that.
Yeah, corduroy is pretty comfy actually. Thank you so much again
you.
for letting us come and do one of these fantastic cars for your dad. I hope he likes my outfit as well. I'm sure he'll get a kick out of it.
Absolutely.
And if you guys all got a kick out of it, we'd appreciate a like on the video. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see me dressed like an idiot some more as well, then hit subscribe, and we will see you next week.